Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
The Haunted Mask is the first ever episode of the TV series Goosebumps, which was based on the popular children's book series by R.L. Stine. This scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I remember getting this from the video store as a 10-year-old, bringing it home, putting it in the video player, and being absolutely terrified at what ensued. Today, I'm going to recount what I remember from watching this as a young kid and just go through the basic parts of this. Spoilers, of course, I'm going to give away different parts of this TV episode of Goosebumps. This was the first episode of Goosebumps that ever aired on television, and this is probably the first one they ever made, and it was highly successful in the US when it first aired on television. This got a ton of viewers. I think it cracked 10+ million viewers or something crazy, probably even more. And of course, it's based on the Goosebumps book of the same name, and it's about a girl named Carly Beth who gets bullied at school. She hates pranks being played on her, so she decides that she wants to be the scariest person this year on Halloween and play some pranks back on her friends. And what better way to do it than to buy a very scary mask? But this isn't just any mask, this is a bewitched mask. It's actually a haunted mask. And it's actually a lot scarier than the mask in the front cover. She puts the mask on and it comes off the first couple of times, at least from what I remember from watching this. But then when she uses it on Halloween and she tries to take it off, it won't come off.
Carly Beth, what is it? The mask. It won't come off. Really? Can't get it off? It's like it's stuck to my skin. Oh. What's the matter? There's no bottom to this mask. There's no line in between the mask and your skin. There's no place I can reach my hand in. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
It's become her.
Carly Beth, I'm sorry. But this face is your face now.
No.
She takes the mask back to where she found it, and the person who found the mask initially tells her, "You're in trouble." And then the scene happens that scared the ever-living crap out of me as a kid. All the other masks come to life. This didn't scare the ever-living crap out of me, but it made me very uneasy. I remember being terrified, actually. No, I was shitting my pants watching this.
Oh, shh, quiet. You'll awaken them.
What's happening?
Run!
And she escapes, and she just gets to live in fear for the rest of Halloween that this mask is never coming off. But eventually it does come off, of course, like it has to. When R.L. Stine introduces this episode at the beginning, I remember watching this as a kid and I was like, sure.
The Haunted Mask is a frightening Halloween story about a girl named Carly Beth. What's so scary about that? You'll see. Viewers beware, you're in for a scare.
Yeah, I guess it'll be scary. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I mean...
Please help me.
And I'm guessing for the millions who saw this the night it first aired, there was definitely some trauma. People were definitely terrified of what they were watching, which is pretty funny to, look back on. But my God, this thing is just so eerie. When the mask won't come off, I remember the kind of fear I felt. I just was so uneasy. I remember just thinking, what the hell's gonna happen here? Like, as a kid, you don't really understand the whole narrative flow of a story. You don't really get that what you're watching is a kid's show and that, of course, there's gonna be a resolution and they're not gonna be stuck with their torture. But also as a kid, I remembered this was Goosebumps, and this wasn't the first Goosebumps episode that I saw, and I also knew that at the very end there's always some kind of twist. And this one, of course, has a twist at the end.
Noah, don't put on that mask. Don't worry, I won't. Trick or treat!
It preys on the fear that a lot of people have of creating an evil that you can't control anymore and that you can't manipulate. When she put the mask on straight away, she felt the power of it. Like, she realized how terrifying it could be and how she could come across as the most scary person on Halloween. But then when the mask became one with her, the fun was well and truly over. I think there's a good chance the book is a lot scarier, but when I was a kid, I didn't read books, so watching the actual TV episode was definitely scarier for me. And I don't know, I think this is the most iconic Goosebumps episode of all time. It has to be. I think everyone can relate to being bullied and then wanting to get back at someone else. And then being really happy about the revenge, but then they realize that it's messy and it doesn't ever work out the way you want it to. And that's kind of the story here. She wants to play a prank on her friend. She wants revenge. She wants to scare the crap out of other family members and siblings. But then it comes back on her. And I guess the point of the story is that, your family and friends are the most important people to help you through struggles. You don't need to get back at people and get your ultimate revenge, which I guess is a fair point, but I think Goosebumps actually got it wrong. I think revenge is the most important thing to do, and they're full of shit, actually, with this one. I'm reading on the back of the VHS, and obviously it's been a long time since I've seen this, so I'm kind of recounting how it made me feel. I felt like if I watched it again, it would just ruin it for me. I wouldn't be able to express genuinely how this was for me as a kid. I'd just be recounting what I just saw, so it wouldn't have been as authentic. But it says here on the back that Carly Beth refuses to take her new mask off. And I remembered this. At the beginning of the episode, she kind of wears it around the house and tries to act all high and mighty and like she's, the most scary, evil person ever. Because she's discovered this new power that she can wield over people. No longer is she the butt of people's jokes. All of a sudden, she has the power. And it's intoxicating for her. I think it's a cool little message for kids, this one. And it's good that this was the first Goosebumps episode, and a lot of people regard this as the best episode of Goosebumps because it's their most fond memory of watching the show. And I can see that. I can definitely see that. I think it probably is one of the better episodes. I didn't hold this one in such high regard compared to the others when I was a kid, but that was just my opinion as a kid. It's mute now. So yeah, this is probably one of the more iconic Goosebumps episodes. And it's definitely really cool to talk about this again. Now, I should let everyone know that Octoween, this is part of a series I've done for the last 9 years. I think this is the 10th Octoween, potentially. I don't actually remember. And I've reviewed a couple of Goosebumps episodes before this, but they were crappy episodes of Goosebumps. They weren't as iconic as this. In fact, they were really, really bad. I reviewed Welcome to Deadhouse, You Can't Scare Me, and The Girl Who Cried Monster, and they're all really hammy. Whereas this one is an episode that I wanted to discuss because, for once, it's an episode of Goosebumps that preys on genuine fear and is really frightful for kids watching this. So thank you guys for watching. It's been another Octoween. I like doing these. They've obviously been a bit more low-key the past couple of years. I would love to make these a big presentation again one day. I'm just trying to keep it going. Rather than make none, I want to make one. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And that was Octoween 10.